Welcome to Ernie Blake Field in Annapolis, Maryland for NCAA's matchup between Mount St. Mary's and Navy Women's Rugby. Starting for Mount St. Mary's today, we have Abby Barnstein, Alexis Fan, Kelly Angie, Leah Parmesano, Erin Wilson, Sydney Sibilia, Emma Jacobs, Tyler Griffin, Anita Mangolano, Renee Hubbard, Michelle Johnston, Sophia Nassif, Victoria Clemens, Katie Stern, and Kanika President. And for Navy, we have Maggie Geiger, Lily Boston, Jimmy West, Patrick Lima, Ella Callahan, Morgan McKee, Neil Lane, Abby Hurston. Megan Height, Lindsay Warner, Anna Hahn, Mia Young, Sienna Hall, and Lynn Gemma. Ladies and gentlemen, please face the flag as we honor our nation with the playing of our national anthem.
Test. Good afternoon. Welcome to Annapolis on a sunny, yet breezy Sunday afternoon. We're underway with Mount St. Mary's on the left, Navy midshipmen on the right. Breeze is coming right down the pipe from left to right here. Mount St. Mary's with the ball. Nice 60-degree day here. Nice run by the fullback, pass inside to the fly half by Mount St. Mary's. Navy on defense, breaks through the tackle. Mount St. Mary's going through underneath the post, and she touches the ball down. That'll be a try. Mount St. Mary's in the first minute. Navy playing some good phases up front, keeping the Mount pinned in their defensive end. But after 3 or 4 of those phases, Mount St. Mary's able to get that ball out wide, stretch Navy's defense, pass it back inside to catch the runner, and Mount's fly half is able to break through some tackles and dot it down in the center of Navy's try zone. Pretty straightforward conversion here for Mount St. Mary's. Definitely not the start that the midshipmen were looking for. That conversion is up and good. Mount St. Mary's is up 7-0. That restart by Navy goes into touch. It'll be a line out where the ball went out of bounds for Mount St. Mary's. We got our first scrum of the day here. Mount St. Mary's put in. That scoots sideways. Turns a little bit. Mount St. Mary's gets it out. Good crash line, but they pass it backwards. Good hands by Mount St. Mary's. They get it out wide again. Good tackle. But Navy is penalized for not rolling away there by Morgan McPeak. Great tackle by Morgan McPeak, just a little bit slow getting out from behind that tackle. Mount St. Mary's with a kick into touch. It'll be a line out to Mount St. Mary's. That's an overthrow. Morgan McPeak grabs it. She's able to take the ball ahead. Clean out support is there. Spins the ball. Back inside. Over to Ella Callahan. They try to switch fields and then take it back into contact. They had an overlap there on the weak side. Just needs to trust their instincts and trust the scrum half of what she's trying to do. Kick through. Looked like it might have bounced over the fullback's head, but she's able to gather it in. She's going on a little jog. She gets it out wide, borderline forward, but ref doesn't think so. Good tackle by Navy's defense there. They start driving Mount St. Mary's back. Ball comes out. A little forward run there. Able to get back to the game line. Ruck's relatively uncontested. Comes back out to the right. Short pop pass. Ref calls offsides on Navy there. Navy really playing it close to the back foot of that ruck. Ref takes a peek over his shoulder down the line and judges Navy to be offside. Tap and go by Mount St. Mary's. They pop it to loose head prop to the right. Distributing again to the right. Steep line by Mount St. Mary's. It's knocked on in contact. Picked up by Morgan McPeak. She's all over the place so far for Navy. Good distribution. Navy's support is there. They spin it out to the left. They get it out wide. They've got space out wide if they can run it. Good job staying inbounds there by Alexis Rohrbach. Ella Callahan with the carry. Over to the right. Hannah Brink doing a good job with distribution today. Navy with some space out wide. Hannah Brink back out to the left. Pop back. Kat Kadima with a strong carry. Navy doing much better job on their rucks today, really lining up the support and driving through, not being caught off guard. Doing a good job sealing here. Kick over the top by Megan Lights. It bounces off Navy's player, and it's caught. She's into the try zone. Try, Navy. Annabelle Hong. Great job on the mistake there, capitalizing on the mistake by Mount St. Mary's. It bounces off the Mount St. Mary's player underneath the high ball. Annabelle Hong right there to recover the bobble and run it into the try zone. Great job in the 8th minute by Navy's back row. Navy lines up for the conversion. Abby Hirschner puts it up. Wynn carries that a little bit away, and that conversion is no good. Navy 5, Mount St. Mary's 7, 8:30 into the first half. Mount St. Mary's with a restart. That ball is up, caught by Abby Hirschner. She takes it into contact. Counter rock half attempted by Mount St. Mary's. Hannah Brink distributes. Lindy Gossage with the carry. Again, Navy's support is good. They're there. Good stiff arm. Out wide. Good support there. Hannah Brink distributes to the right. Megan Lights. Flat pass. She breaks through one tackle. She's caught from behind. Navy's support is there. And there's a penalty for not rolling away by Mount St. Mary's. Looks like that was the 9 there, just not rolling away fast enough. That's a few times there that Mount St. Mary's has gotten caught on the wrong side of the ball. Responsibilities on the tackler to get out of the way and make a clear pathway for the ball there. Just a little bit slow, and Navy gets a penalty out of it. Lindy Gostage stepping up for the line-out throw for Navy. Morgan McPeak at the back. Ref not happy with the setup there on the line-out. He blows the whistle and stops things. That throws up. That's good. It's off the top. Distributes to Megan Lights. And Mount St. Mary's penalized for grabbing the jumper in the air. Ref pulling up the Mount St. Mary's captain to have a word with her. So you're allowed to go for the ball when you jump in the air. You can contest the line out as the defensive side, but you're not allowed to grab the jumper. That's considered dangerous play there. That kick is up right outside the 22 for Navy. Decent attacking position for them. Morgan McPeak comes around the blind side. That good idea there, just not executed quite where they need it to be. Morgan McPeak gets a little bit too wide and close to the touch line, and she goes out of bounds, turning that ball over to Mount St. Mary's. It'll be a line out to the Mount. Great in-state rivalry here today between Navy and Mount St. Mary's. Mount St. Mary's traveling from beautiful Emmitsburg, Maryland. That throw is up. It's bobbled, but it goes backwards. Hannah Brink is able to gather it in. She runs, tackled. Scrummy in the call. Navy needs someone there. That ball's out of bounds. Navy just not paying attention that the scrum half was the one that took the ball into contact, and no one's there to cover her position. That's what you'll hear when the scrummy goes in. So, typically they yell scrummy in to let the rest of the team know, hey, I'm stuck in. I'm not going to be there to distribute the ball. Mount St. Mary's stringing together some possession here. Distributes out to the left. Over the top. Good pass out wide. Runs through one arm tackle. Sienna Hall there for the tackle. Good strong. There's the counter ruck, but Mount St. Mary's able to get that ball out wide. Strong carry by Mount St. Mary's. Tight head prop. 8-man carry for the Mount. Support is there. Navy just needs to be a little bit more coordinated on that counter ruck, and they'll have the opportunity. They're just a little bit slow on the counter ruck and setting that up. Mount St. Mary's slowly chewing up ground. Navy's got to do a little bit better with the arm tackles there. Just really reaching out with their arms. Out wide. I'd really like to see Navy's defense drive those legs through the tackle and try to drive the Mount players back. Right now, I call that a little bit of a soak tackle. They're receiving contact and getting driven backwards right now. That ball comes out to the left. Popped back out. Good distribution after contact there by the Mount. Looks like it's going to come back out to the right. Back shoulder pass. Good ankle tackle there. Navy not joining that counter ruck. They have the opportunity for the counter ruck, but nobody joins her there. She goes in alone. Looked like that was Morgan McPeak on the counter ruck, but she's the only one that goes in. Navy fires up. Good tackle. Good steal there. Navy's able to get that steal. Counter ruck is still there. Yes, and that's diving over. So you can try to drive over on defense, but you're not supposed to dive on top of the ball in the ruck. Mount St. Mary's rightly penalized there. But Navy does have to be careful. That was a good counter ruck. They had the turnover fine, but they were slow getting support behind the ball. Almost turned that ball over right after they were able to gain possession. Overthrow, but not straight for Navy. It is a breezy day today. A little bit of a continuation from the match yesterday. Wind definitely wreaked havoc on that ball. Looked like a balloon getting thrown all over the field yesterday, especially on the kicks. Both teams really going to have to be careful playing the wind here today. Field looks like it's in a little bit better position, a little bit dried out. No rain yesterday, but the field was still really wet. And Mount St. Mary's penalized, pulling down on the ref side. He had a great view into the side of the scrum there. Good kick out of bounds. Navy's line out again. Navy player takes a knee near midfield. She walks off on her own, but she comes off. Don't see another player coming in quite yet. Mount St. Mary's player talking to the ref right now. Coach McCarthy decides to play one man down for right now, see if they can get the Navy player back into the fight. Rife lets the play break out there for a minute first. A little bit of confusion going on. So defensive lifter's not supposed to go up before the offensive lifter there. Ref lets the play develop there. That throw was judged not straight, so the ref stops it and awards a free kick to Navy for the defensive lifter going up in the air first. Navy elects for the scrum. Morgan McPeak considers a quick tap and go, but she doesn't actually tap it on her foot, so everything gets reset now. Navy going for the scrum. Crouchbine set the call. Navy puts it in. Navy getting driven back a little bit, but that ball's out. Abby Hirschner with the carry. Back to the near side. Megan Lights with a strong carry. Navy support there. Hannah Brink distributes out to the right. Ella Callahan. Good support there. I would have thought that was offside, but a little bit of a double pump by Hannah Brink there. That could be why the ref did not penalize Mount St. Mary's. Comes out right down the line. Called a hands line. Sienna Hall coming down the sideline there. She stays in bounds. Navy, good job getting the ball through hands, but a little bit too methodical, just going from one person to the next. Might have to just kind of do a little bit of a skip pass to take advantage of the space that's out there. Oh, that would have been a perfect position for a skip pass right there. But Navy at least able to maintain possession. Navy penalized, though, for coming in from the side. Navy's offense just going right through hands down the line. Really have an opportunity for a skip pass there, but they're not looking for the skip. The skip is on. Mount St. Mary's is rightly playing inside to outside. Will that stay in? It does. Mistake by Mount St. Mary's. Good offload in contact. Nice stiff arm by Abby Hirschner. Support is there. Distributes. Maggie Geiger with a carry. Megan Lights. Short ball, good double tackle there by Mount St. Mary's, but Navy support is there. Megan Lights with a kick. Goes up. Sienna Hall catches it. She's got space wide. And that's judged a forward pass in the offload by the ref. Looked really close From our vantage point, she was caught right on the 22, tackled right on the 22. That ball bounced right on the 22 as well, but we'll have to wait for the instant replay on that one, which we don't have. Mount St. Mary's put in. Good contact. Navy's driven back, though. Mount St. Mary's goes for the clearance kick. Good job on the clearance kick there. Wind really took that. That ball went out just on Navy's side of midfield, just in their defensive half. Navy makes a sub. Unfortunately, Miracle Haynes coming off a little bit early there. Navy able to gather that one in. Weak side play, that weak side line out, just a little bit slow developing. Mount St. Mary's penalized again for not rolling away. Really like to see a little bit more go forward on that line out. Morgan McPeaks coming from the outside of the line out and coming up the 5-meter channel, just not able to turn upfield fast enough to make that a positive play. Navy able to drive that penalty kick out of bounds. Saw the wind wreak a little bit of havoc on Mount St. Mary's on that penalty on this side of the field. Wind really kind of rear right quartering tailwind for Mount St. Mary's. Not quite down the pipe right now. Free kick awarded to Mount St. Mary's there on that line out. I think they might have called it Navy player leaving the line out and not fully retreating before rejoining. Mount St. Mary's really being deliberate in their setup for this free kick. Looks like they're going to execute a tap and go. Navy spreading out to match. There's the tap. Running a little bit of a set play, getting some good go forward. Good job setting the ruck for Mount St. Mary's. They go down the weak side, get it outside, and then come back, step back inside. Good tackle by Navy's forwards. But the Mount St. Mary's player makes the gain line. That ball hits the ground. Navy jumps on it. Turnover, Navy. Knock-on advantage. Abby Hirschner with a carry. She still drives her legs. Hannah Brink distributes. Megan Lights. They get it wide. Navy travels all the way across the field, but they are tackled out of bounds. Mount St. Mary's player on the ground there. They're going to give her a moment. Ref called the knock-on advantage over. All they really did was go over to the other side of the field. Well, that's the ref's prerogative to call the knock-on advantage over. I would have thought just traveling laterally across the field, he might have brought it back for the knock-on advantage. Mount St. Mary's also making a early sub. taking a little bit of a head knock there, so they're going to be really careful, making sure she's all right. Decent contest. But Navy offsides on that. Morgan McPeak just runs a little bit early on that line out. So you really have to wait until that jumper comes all the way down before you run across that channel. Navy rightly penalized. 25th minute, score is still Navy 5, Mount St. Mary's 7. That ball hits the ground on the distribution, goes backwards. Little chip kick by Mount St. Mary's, outside center. Unfortunate slip there. I would have called that hands in the ruck. Like the ruck is formed. She shouldn't, like that needs to be you need to drive over that before you can start digging in there for the ball. But ref lets him play on, lets the player pull the ball out. But Mount St. Mary's ends up knocking it on in the end. It'll be a scrum down to Navy. A little bit of a momentum shift here in the last few minutes. Mount St. Mary's started out really strong with that try in the first minute. Navy came back and scored a try of their own. We're seeing a little bit of a shift back to Mount St. Mary's here. Let's see if Navy can settle down. It's their scrum, defensive scrum for Navy. They're playing into a headwind. They're driven back on the scrum, and it comes back Navy's way. Hannah Brink, Megan Lights. One more out wide to Alexis Rohrbach. She's got some space. That is a good counter rock by Mount St. Mary's. Navy isolated out wide. Navy close on the poach call there, but Abby Hirschner not able to keep her feet. And she's penalized for bringing it down to the ground. So if she stays on her feet, she's entitled to that ball. She can try to steal it, but she can't dive onto the ball while she's in the ruck. Ref talking to the Navy captain, letting him know that they really need to be careful on that poach play. And also making sure that they have a clear release before going for the ball. Good kick out of bounds by Mount St. Mary's, and they have a dangerous attacking line out here. Mount St. Mary's player was pulled for a head injury assessment. She comes back in. Rugby with the focus on player health. They'll let a player come off to evaluate them for a concussion. Mount St. Mary sets up the maul. It's brought down. Doesn't look like an advantage is being played. I would have called that bringing the maul down by Navy, but ref doesn't think so. Tackler held up. Navy's defense spreads out on both sides. There's some space out wide. Mount St. Mary's tries to step inside. Good distribution by Mount St. Mary's there. And they are able to get the overload. The overload was there. Mount St. Mary's players stepped back inside, making Navy's defense collapse. And they're not able to follow the ball outside with the distribution. Try Mount St. Mary's in the 29th minute. Tough conversion kick here. Wind's shifting a little bit. So a little bit of a tailwind, but I'd call it a quartering tailwind. That kick is up. And that's pulled to the near side. That conversion attempt is no good. In the 29th minute, the score is Mount St. Mary's 12, Navy 5. Just a 7-point game. Navy can get back into it here. They need a big momentum shift, though. Kick is underway. That's bobbled. Looks like a knock-on. And it is. Knock-on by Mount St. Mary's on the restart. Navy scrum. We'll see what they can do with it. Crouch bind set the call. Nice stable scrum. Navy being very methodical on that scrum setup. Good inside pass, nice flat pass. Navy support somehow managed to get that there. Good job. That kick is up. There's some space, but she's completely isolated over here. Navy's got to do a better job getting her out of bounds. She does a great job staying in bounds. Mount defensive stand there, able to turn the ball over. Navy was completely isolated on that kick wide. Good short pop pass. Out to the left. Continues to the left through hands. Mount St. Mary's has some space. That's well forward there. We'll see what the ref called here. No hand and arm signal yet, but that pass from here looked well forward. We've got a Navy player who took a knee there. Navy's trainer comes out. Time is off. We've got just under 8 minutes left in the first half. Mount St. Mary's still up by 7. Navy's tight head prop there, taking a knee, getting looked at, but she's okay. That ball goes up. Not quite straight. Navy not able to gather the line out. They get really lucky there. Bounces off a Mount St. Mary's player and goes forward. Ref judges it a knock-on by Mount St. Mary's. Scrum down to Navy. Big Navy scrum the call by the Navy fans. crouch bind set the call from the ref. Navy being very methodical on their scrum setup. Definitely a change from how they've recently been doing things. Anna Brink, Sienna Hall, they're met. Not a whole lot of advantage there on the blind side. Navy's got to pay attention. The scrummy's in there. Second time that's happened. Hannah Brink distributes Megan Lights. Great carry there by Maggie Geiger. High ball to Megan. She gets it out wide. Mia Young. Hands in the ruck, the call by the ref. Mount St. Mary's penalized. A little bit of a lineup change there from the past few weeks. Mia Young moving from fullback into the outside center position. She's got some speed. She's one to keep an eye on. Generally, the outside centers are known for being hard-nosed, big tacklers, strong carriers of the ball. It definitely looks like a little bit of a size mismatch between Navy and Mount St. Mary's. Mount St. Mary's outside center definitely has the advantage in size. Navy with another mistake on that line out. They tap it in the line out. It goes forward. Line out to Mount St. Mary's. Mount St. Mary's with a put in. Good step by Mount St. Mary's fly half. She's got some space across the field and some speed. She's hard to bring down. She knocks it on, though. Sienna Hall recovers it. Navy quick with support. Mount St. Mary's penalized for a high tackle. Megan Lights taps and goes. She's got some space. Navy's support is there. Again, Mount St. Mary's not rolling away, but ref doesn't hold out an arm. Good carry there. Maggie Geiger pumping those legs, trying to keep going forward. Navy setting up the forward play. Working to maintain possession here. Really keeping low on that drive. That's what we like to see. Last few weeks we've had a little bit of an issue on Navy's side, really being high, carrying that ball. So they're definitely looking to drive those legs and stay low. They're slowly chewing up ground here. This is what we want to see from Navy. Ball security, staying low, and driving the ball. Good pop out. She's held up short of the try line. Navy with success on these short. Oh, that ball pops out, but it goes backwards. Navy support is there. Ref calls that a knock-on by Mount St. Mary's. Navy doing a good job there maintaining possession. A little bit of a mistake on that last one. We'll call it a mistake / Mount St. Mary's knock-on in the tackle. Let's see if Navy can provide a stable platform for the scrum. Take a look at seeing if they're going to go for a pick and go. Mount St. Mary's spread out across the field. No, a little bit narrow. There's some space out wide, but Navy really hasn't had the ability this year to spin that ball out wide with speed. They're just a little bit too methodical getting that ball out wide. They need some skip passes to get the ball wide. The space is there. Mount St. Mary's penalized for collapsing the scrum or wheeling it. Tap and go. Not 10. Definitely not 10 there. Ref calling the advantage. So on a penalty, Mount St. Mary's has the responsibility to go back 10. They don't on that one. Ref blows the whistle. Two or three penalties there, right there on the line for Mount St. Mary's. You have to think if Mount St. Mary's continues with this discipline, they're not going to be able to. But that's a great drive and try. Way to stay low there. Abby Hirschner on the tap and go and then drive. She finds a gap in between the Mount St. Mary's players. Try Navy. 39th minute, 1 minute before halftime. Tough kick for Abby Hirschner here, but definitely convertible. She has an opportunity here to tie it up for Navy right on the stroke of halftime. It's a tough conversion. She's definitely capable here. That kick is up. Unfortunately, that wind just gusts and takes it right on the stroke of halftime. That's halftime there here in Annapolis. Mount St. Mary's 12, Navy 10. Nice close match here in Annapolis. We'll see you in 5 minutes for the start of the second half.
I'm Charlotte DeHolland, and this is the Student Athlete Spotlight.
Charlotte,
Yes.
why do you like rugby?
I love rugby because of this saying that we have on the team, with you. Whenever you take the ball into contact, you have your teammate who's standing next to you who's yelling, with you, with you, with you. And I feel like this idea of being with you, of your teammates being with you, is you see it throughout the sport, on and off the pitch, and I just really love that about it.
Do you have a favorite hit where you just laid out somebody?
I have game amnesia, so I don't remember anything after it's happened, but I definitely can remember watching my teammates just absolutely trucking people, and so I've got a couple of those that I store up here, yeah.
What was it like being on an episode of Cake Boss?
So this happened in the second grade. My whole class was on an episode of Cake Boss, and they just made like this giant peanut butter and jelly sandwich cake for us. I remember the cake not tasting good.
You are fluent in 3 languages and learning a 4th, is that correct?
Yes, I speak French and Spanish, and I'm doing my Duolingo Portuguese. So
You want to travel to Portugal?
I'd love to, yes, I've never been.
You have a French background. Both your parents were born and raised in France. What is your favorite part of your French heritage?
My whole family still lives in France with a couple of cousins in Belgium, and my favorite thing is just going back and visiting them, traveling the country. I've been through most of it with my parents and my brother, and it's absolutely beautiful, and I love being there. Both my parents grew up in or around Paris, but my dad's family is originally from the north of France, and that's where my grandparents live now. Most recently, we were in Biarritz in Arcachon, down in the southwest of France, and it's just like a really beautiful area, and they have a lot of rugby there as well, though we didn't get to watch a game.
Charlotte, what is your dream vacation?
I don't know, that's a hard one. I always wanted Iceland. I've never been, so that's definitely at the top of the bucket list.
Stranded on a desert island for a week. You can only bring 3 things with you. What will you bring?
I've seen somebody quick on this island, and I'm getting ready to do afterwards. Sure. Okay. I can sunscreen and a towel. A towel. And a book. Something I haven't read yet. Like, probably a long one to last 7 days, too. Maybe The Lord of the Rings. I haven't read that one yet.
What's your favorite movie?
Probably up there would be The Martian, because I used to really want to be an astronaut when I was little, so I really like that movie. Yeah. Otherwise, How to Train Your Dragon is like a childhood favorite of mine.
What, Charlotte, has been your proudest moment as a midshipman?
I think being voted captain of the rugby team is probably really up there. I love the team so much, and the fact that my teammates put that
Welcome back here in Annapolis, getting ready to kick off for the second half. Navy on the left, Mount St. Mary's on the right. Score is Mount St. Mary's 12, Navy 10 in a tightly contested match. Definitely wind playing a factor. Field has definitely dried out some from the match yesterday and some of the rain on Friday afternoon, evening. Navy looking to turn things around. They've got the wind at their backs this half. We're underway. Good positive carry by Navy. Distributes out to the left. Megan Lights kicks through, a little bit of a grubber. That goes through. Mount St. Mary's fullback is there in support. She's got some speed and some size. She turns it upfield. Mount St. Mary's has got some space, but it's that hits the ground. They're still going. Mount St. Mary's turns it back inside. Good job by Navy's defense. Navy looking to fold over to the strong side. Navy with a big gap in midfield, but Mount St. Mary's slow to develop the play. Good strong carry by Mount St. Mary's. Navy's defense looking to spread out over the field. Mount St. Mary's doing a good job maintaining possession. They cut through. Ref called an advantage for offside, but looks like that advantage was over. Navy turns the ball over. Navy working to maintain possession. Ruck's getting pretty sloppy over there for Navy. They really have got to settle down. Their ruck was working really well in the first half. They just need to keep that steadiness and that commitment to the ruck going. Looks like they start settling down. There she goes, taking advantage of the kick. Megan Lights. Sienna Hall with the run. She's got space. That ball's hitting the ground in the 22. It's kicked, but it's kicked right back to a Navy player. That's offsides by Mount St. Mary's there. Definitely offsides by the Mount St. Mary's player. She was in front of the kicker. Nobody got her back on side, and she tackles. That's a card. That's cynical play right there. There's nobody back to cover that if she runs through. We'll just chalk it up to not quite making the right decision in the moment right there. But that's a tough call for Navy. There was no Mount St. Mary's player onside remotely close to the ball carrier. The only one that was onside was the kicker. She got tackled right as she kicked the ball. That's a tough call for Navy, but they at least get the scrum. And unfortunately, they're not able to take advantage. Free kick given to Mount St. Mary's for their early drive on that scrum. Navy's really got to settle down there. Free kick to Mount St. Mary's inside their own 22. They can either tap and go, they can kick it directly into touch, or they can keep it in field. Looks like they're going to opt for the tap and go. They go. That goes directly out of bounds. Interesting play call there. You would have thought they just opted to kick it out of bounds from the free kick spot. They tap it, make it live, and then toss it back for the clearance kick instead. Sienna Hall on the near side here trying to play the field wide. That is not straight, but knocked forward by Mount St. Mary's. That line-out throw was not straight towards Mount St. Mary's, but the Mount St. Mary's player knocks it on. So it'll be a scrum down to Navy. Really need Navy to settle down in the scrum here. They did a good job in the first half being deliberate with the scrum setup. Like to see a little bit more of that here in the second half. I think they got a little bit carried away there on that earlier scrum just a minute or two ago. We'll see what they can do here. Nice stable platform. They get it back. I would have liked to see a little bit of a weak side play there. Annabelle Hong takes it back inside. Back towards the forwards. Good job by Navy maintaining possession. Good kick there. That's a great kick by Megan Lights there. She knows she has the wind at her back. She wants to pin Mount St. Mary's back in their defensive end. Good job by Megan Lights, the fly half. Mount St. Mary's with them all. They pop it out. Good possession. Navy's got a fold there. There's definitely an overload out wide for Mount St. Mary's. Navy players start folding over. That ball's behind her. Oh, there. Little bit of a knock on there by Navy. She's tackled just as she tries to gather the ball in. Looks like she might have either taken a head knock or gotten the wind knocked out of her on that play. Ref stops the clock. Mount St. Mary's doing a decent job maintaining possession, but then that ball hits the deck inside their own 22. Navy quick to try and jump on it. Sub made by Mount St. Mary's there. Navy player is back up. We'll get started with the line out. Ball puts in. Straight back. That's bobbled. That's a knock on. Great opportunity for Navy here. But the ref blows the whistle early there. Ref's got to let that play develop. I know it's a knock on. Let the play continue. See what happens and see if Navy is able to take advantage of the knock on. Instead, the ref blows it dead. Navy still has a great opportunity here. It'll be their scrum right on the 5-meter line. A little bit disappointing for Navy there on that. Really got to settle down. Big opportunity for Navy. Crouchbine set the call. Being deliberate in the setup. Goes straight back. They keep it in. It's picked up. Abby Hirschner with a drive. Good go forward. Looks like they're going to keep it within the forwards. Stay low is the call. Really got to do a good job staying low there. Keeping it in the forwards. And that's a try. Try, Navy. Looks like it's Lindy Gostage, the hooker for Navy, who's able to drive off the back of the ruck and dot it down. Great job staying low for Navy there. Just the response we were looking for in the second half. 49th minute. Navy taking their first lead of the day. Abby Hirschner steps up for the conversion. That's up. And that sneaks inside the upright. That conversion is good. In the 49th minute, it's Navy 17 and Mount St. Mary's 12. Great job there by Abby Hirschner. Helped a little bit by the wind, but she gets it inside the post. Good job on the conversion. Really need to see Navy build on that momentum there. They've got the wind on the back. They really need to take advantage of it. Work to pin Mount St. Mary's back in their half. That kick is up and short. Not touched by Navy, so it'll be a scrum down center. Scrum center for Navy. Unfortunate error by Mount St. Mary's on that restart. That restart needs to travel 10 meters. Navy does have the opportunity to touch it and pick it up and go if they want to. If they don't touch it, comes back for a scrum center. Navy with a put-in, crouch bind set. Being deliberate again with the setup. And feeding the call there. Don't see that a whole lot, just about, my opinion, just about every scrum the ball is fed in. Navy penalized there for feeding the scrum, so when the scrum half actually directly puts it onto the hooker's foot. Mount St. Mary's taps and goes. That's wide. Mount St. Mary's definitely has the overlap. He's got to get wide. Good fend. Great tackle there by Navy's fullback, but they're penalized. Looks like we might see a card here. Is that what we're talking about? Is that considered a high tackle? Yep. Ref is bringing over the captain and the other Navy player. And that is a yellow card for Abby Hirschner in the 52nd minute. I think the call was high tackle. Not the response Navy was looking for after that score. Really giving Mount St. Mary's the opportunity to get back into this match. Let's see what Navy's defense can do here. Sun makes an appearance for a chilly afternoon. It was getting pretty breezy and chilly there for a while. That maul is set. Held up once. Mount St. Mary's pulls it out. That scrum half is chasing it. Slips through one tackle. Second tackle, still driving the legs. That ball comes out. Tries to go right up the middle. Makes a little bit of ground. Navy really needs to pay attention on defense here. Mount St. Mary's looking to do the same. Forward play, driving it forward. That's called knocked on by Mount St. Mary's. Mount St. Mary's player was tackled. She goes to reach out and dot the ball down, but she loses control of that ball just as she tries to stretch out for the try line. Ref judges that a knock on. It'll be a scrum down to Navy. Unlucky there for Mount St. Mary's. That's the risk when you try to play that ball in the tackle right there. Call that getting big eyes for the try line. Good drive by Navy. Navy tries to pick and go. They've got the win there. You'd like to see them just get that ball back for the clearance kick. It's not exactly a clean clearance kick. You got the post right in the way. They're doing a little bit of forward play just to gain some space and some breathing room for the kick. Mount St. Mary's with a counter ruck. And Navy is penalized for holding on to the ball. That's the risk right there, playing in the wrong side of the field. Mount St. Mary's tries the quick tap and go, but the ref stops the play. Navy player is down. Ref brings it back, judges that Mount St. Mary's was not on the mark. So on those penalties, when the ref calls a penalty, he's also creating a mark where the penalty is. So when the team that gains the penalty taps and go, they're supposed to tap the ball on the mark that the ref has created. If a player is not close to the mark, then typically the ref will bring that ball back and make the team with the penalty tap that ball on the mark. Navy making some subs here. Seven minutes left in the penalty for Navy. Navy's getting reset for the penalty. Navy player is okay. We'll look for Mount St. Mary's to do the tap and go. They tap it. That ball comes out. That ball comes out wide. Oh, that's knocked forward. That ball is knocked forward. Another turnover here for Mount St. Mary's. Just getting a little bit too excited this close to the try line. Really have to get the veterans on the team to settle the teams down when they're in that offensive 22. A lot of teams just get a little bit too excited going for the try zone and make some uncharacteristic mistakes. Navy still can't let up here. It's their scrum. Good job there. Up the sideline, Sienna Hall with a carry. She takes it back inside. Good ruck. Navy really needs to get this ball cleared and out here. There's the kick. Good job getting some breathing room by there by Navy. Really get nervous seeing Navy play in the wrong areas of the field, right? Just too many things that can go wrong when you're playing in your defensive 22. You don't want to turn the ball over in that area. Mount St. Mary's with some more subs here. Mount St. Mary's with the line out. They get it out wide. Good ball inside. Mount St. Mary's has some space wide. Will Navy's defense be able to cover? She's caught. Navy's still having to play defense. Pick and go by Mount St. Mary's. Out to the left. Met strongly. Good tackle there. Comes out again to the left. Good tackle again. Navy's defense getting set up. That ball is pitched up high, out wide. They've got an overlap. They're caught behind. She dances behind one. Ref's holding out the arm for an advantage. That ball skips across the ground. Ref stops it for the penalty. Navy's got to be quick to get back 10. Mount St. Mary's trying to get back on the mark. Tap and go by the Mount St. Mary's player. Navy was not set there. They had the opportunity. It's close. Definitely looking for Navy's defense to get set here. That ball comes out to the right. Mount St. Mary's still trying to push it in. They go weak side again. Held up, maybe. Hard to see on that far side. Mount St. Mary's maintains possession, comes out to the left. Short ball going to the forwards. Met strongly by Navy's defense. Oh, a little bit of bobble on that pull out there. Mount St. Mary's player tries to dive through. They're caught. Comes out to the left again. They're trying to spin it out wide. She's got the size there. And she's able to dive through. Try Mount St. Mary's. This is definitely a back and forth game here today. 1 minute, Navy's on the front foot. The next minute, Mount St. Mary's is on the front foot. Navy playing with the player down. They only have 14 on the field, and they're just not able to exit and get out of their defensive zone. Mount St. Mary's able to take advantage of the player advantage, and they score here in the 58th minute. Not an easy conversion kick here. Mount St. Mary's has the wind in their face. It's a tie score right now, 17-17. This is a kick for Mount St. Mary's to take the lead here. We'll see what he can do. Seems like the wind died down a little bit for the Mount St. Mary's kicker. No chase for Navy. And that ball goes wide. That conversion attempt is no good. We've got a tie score here in Annapolis in the 59th minute. Navy 17, Mount St. Mary's 17. Just under 4 minutes left on the yellow card, I think. 3-4 minutes. That restart is up. That's good. The wind takes it back a little bit. That's nice and high, and that's knocked forward. Oh, no, the ref says that went backwards. That one's definitely forward there. That ball skidding all over the ground. Abby Hirschner brought back on. I think they're even strength now. Both teams back at full strength here. So a lot less than 3 minutes left on that yellow card. There was no time left on the yellow card. You see Abby Hirschner come back in after her time in the sin bin. Both teams up to full strength. Crouch bind set the call. That ball is wheeled. Good job by Navy. Abby Hirschner. She loses that ball in contact, though. That's unfortunate. Just not quite the ball security that's needed. That's ricochet. A little bit of a debate there. I think that was probably the right call from the crowd there. But Mount St. Mary's kicks it. It deflects off of a Navy player. The deflection or the tip basically plays everybody onside. So everybody is onside when that kick is charged down and blocked. So no problems there with the tackle on the Navy player, but the ref brings it back for the original knock-on by Navy in the tackle. Crouch bind set to put in. Navy Mount St. Mary's with a pick and go. They got space on the weak side. Good coverage by Navy's defense. They're there. Another blindside pick and go by Mount St. Mary's. Distribution out to the left. Pretty static there by Mount St. Mary's. Not a lot of go forward on the distribution. Tries the sneak attack. That's bobbled and gathered in by Abby Hirschner. She's a little bit isolated. Where's Navy's support? They're there. Good turnover there by Navy. Out to the right, but that's backwards. Good job by Navy. They really have to work on that ball, their ball security here. That ball squirts out. Not releasing the call. Penalty against Mount St. Mary's here. Mount St. Mary's player involved in the tackle. They're not clearly releasing. I think there was a little bit of, we'll call it shenanigans in the tackle there. Player not getting out of the way and actually ripping the ball free from the Navy player while they're both on the ground. Navy pointing towards the posts. Looks like they're going for points. And that is the case. Ref shows a yellow card to the Mount St. Mary's player. Cynical play in that tackle. Navy going to points here to try to retake the lead. Abby Hirschner stepping up for the penalty attempt. That kick is up, but it is no good, just wide. That'll be a 22-meter drop for Mount St. Mary's on the missed penalty attempt. That was the right decision there for Navy, just unlucky by Abby there. The wind is definitely gusty, coming from a few different directions, so that is not an easy kick. Navy still playing in the right area of the field right now. They now have the number advantage. No ball, so looking to get a ball out on the field to start play. That kick went into the woods. We'll get ready to get restarted. We're 65 minutes into the match. Only 15 minutes left in this match, and we're still tied at 17 apiece. That kick is up. Annabelle Hong with a catch. She's tackled and immediately met. Strong side. Good carry there. Out to the left again, straight back. That kick is up. That might be a little bit strong there. That's going to go into the tries. Is it going to stay in? Oh, that's out of bounds. Just in field of the try zone. Still a line out to Mount St. Mary's, but great kick there by Megan Lights. Sienna Hall was the chase. Decent opportunity. She was almost there. Little less pace on that kick. She might have been there. Ref blows the whistle. Wants both teams to give space in the tunnel for the line out. That ball's up. Gathered in by Mount St. Mary's. Comes straight back. That's blocked and charged down, but Mount St. Mary's is able to recover it. That looked like a good contest, but Navy player is blown off, looking for the poach. Mount St. Mary's looking to settle down. Try to get a decent clearance kick here. They're kicking into the wind, so it's going to be tough. That goes straight back. That ball is up. That's going to stay in field. Sienna Hall's there. She catches it. She's going across field. She gets it out wide. Oh, that's over her head. The space was there. Unfortunate there by Navy. Knock on by Navy out wide. They had the space. That pass floated way too high for Alexis Rohrbach, the Navy wing. It's the right call. It's the right play. Just like to see that pass a little bit more accurate right into Alexis' hands. She gets that ball. She's got a clear run into the try zone. You have to think she's going to score that, but instead it's a knock-on. Just the break that Mount St. Mary's was looking for here. Scrum to Mount St. Mary's. Blindside pick and go. Flankers there. Good backhand pass. Dances through one tackle. Dances through another tackle. And she's dragged out of bounds. Good job by Navy's defense there. After Mount St. Mary's works hard to get out of their own zone. This will be Navy's ball here. Look for Megan Lights to give that crossfield kick, right? That ball's out wide. That's Maggie Geiger with a strong carry. Hannah Brink, back to Megan Lights. Annabelle. Hit hard, but there's space. Sienna Halls, dance backs inside. Takes it back inside again. Back into her support. Good job there finding her support and keeping her feet till she gets there. Good job. Again, distributing. Maggie Geiger with the strong carry again. She's got the feet. Oh, borderline carry. And it's stripped in the tackle by Mount St. Mary's. Ref decides to bring it back. There's a whole lot of nothingness going on there. Navy's player had a good chance at that poach, but just can't stay on her feet. Looked like that was Jess McKenzie for Navy. She's got a fantastic low center of gravity. She was over that ball, but she just falls on top of that ball. She's really got to stay on her feet. They bring it back for the original knock on by Navy. Scrum down to Mount St. Mary's. Good scrum by Mount St. Mary's. Navy scrum half trips. Mount St. Mary's scrum half does a good job to evade Navy tacklers. Pick and go by Mount St. Mary's. Navy not able to take advantage of the man advantage. Comes out to the left. Pop inside by Mount St. Mary's. Navy's got to get on defense and get onside. They're playing right on the line there. I know they want to provide some defensive pressure, but they've got to stay onside. You can't give Mount St. Mary's an opportunity to get back into the match. Met strongly. Mount St. Mary's ball carrier does a good job keeping her feet. Navy player down on the backfield. Play continues. There's a little bit of a gap. She's able to break through. Tackled from behind. A little bit of a double move, but able to make it happen. Pulled out. Going weak side. Sienna Hall comes up on defense. She's dragged out of bounds. Good job by Sienna Hall on defense there, dragging Mount St. Mary's ball carrier out of bounds. Nice, steady presence out there on the wing. Just over 8 minutes left in the match. Still a few minutes left on the yellow card. Navy has not been able to do anything with the advantage, with the number advantage. Let's see what they can do here. Jess McKenzie with the throw. That's tapped. Navy was able to recover it, though. Good job. Distributed to Megan. She gets it wide. Good job by Navy to maintain possession. Wide by Megan. Inside by Annabelle Hong. Unfortunate by Navy there. They go for an awkward box kick attempt. Distributed. Pop pass, Jess McKenzie. She's met high. She keeps her legs going. Hannah Brink with the distribution. Pops it. They're getting it wide. Abby Hirschner with some room on the outside. Sienna's on the outside as well. She stays up. That goes through. Not sure what the call. Offsides. That did not look like an offsides from our position here. I think the call was that Liliana Gemma was offsides on the kick. I really did not think so. I'll have to go back and take a look at that one. But Navy penalized for being offside on that kick. There's an argument to be made that the Mount St. Mary's player didn't roll away as well. But regardless, looks like Mount St. Mary's brings on the yellow card. So we're back at even strength, tied 17-17 in the 74th minute. And it's a penalty to Mount St. Mary's. Looks like they'll be kicking for touch here. Navy penalized for offside. That was the call there. That ball stays in field. Good catch by Maggie Geiger there. She runs upfield. She keeps the legs moving. Good clear out by Navy. Oh, you got to take advantage of that. Abby Hirschner on the outside. She goes back inside. A little bit of a pump fake there. Knock on by Navy. Just got to catch that in the breadbasket already. I'd like to... It was working for Navy to have Hannah or Megan Lights with the kicking. I'd like to see Navy go back to that. Ref not happy with some of the comments from the spectators. Mount St. Mary's with the scrum and the put-in. Crouchbine set the call. Mount St. Mary's has decent push. A little bit of a loop play. They get that ball out wide. Navy's defense comes up. Step back inside. They get it outside. Good play here by Mount St. Mary's, but they lose that ball in contact. Navy's able to recover it. Hannah Brink, you got to pull that ball out, Hannah, if you want to catch her outside. That ball goes backwards. You leave that in there, and you're giving her a chance to get back onside. There we go with Megan Lights in the kick. That lands infield, goes outside. That's out of bounds. That's a 50-22. That's a 50-22 for Navy. That should be Navy's line out. Megan Lights with the kick on her side of the 50. That bounces in play. And goes out of bounds inside the 22. That's a Navy line out. Good job with the line out. They maintain possession. They spin it. Ref brings it back. Mount St. Mary's was making a substitution there. And Navy not able to take advantage of that line out. They knock it on in the line out. That's unfortunate for Navy. You got to be consistent, though. Just not able to do that. The kick is up. Mount St. Mary's kicked away. The advantage. That's unfortunate. Ref, we'll see what the ref is calling here. But Mount St. Mary's kicked away the advantage. All right, so Ref changes his mind here and calls a penalty for Navy against Mount St. Mary's because of the late hit. But then on the penalty kick, Navy kicks it out the back of the try zone. Huge mistake by Navy there. Big letdown. You cannot kick that ball out the back of the try zone on a penalty. You need to get that ball out of bounds in the field of play. Even if it goes out the side of the try zone, that's also a turnover to Mount St. Mary's. So Navy given lots of opportunities here, but just kind of squandering them, unfortunately. Ref talking to both front rows. We've got just under 2 minutes left in this match. Still knotted up at 17. Navy playing in the right area of the field, but they're just not able to take advantage of the field position. Mount St. Mary's has got some dynamic playmakers, so Navy's got to be careful on defense here. A little bit of a bobble pulling that ball out. A little bit of a switch play. Good line, but that's knocked on. Sienna Hall recovers it. Oh, playing on the wrong side of the ball. That's a penalty all day. You have to think Navy's going to go for points here. And Navy immediately brings out the tee. Mount St. Mary's trainer coming out. Mount St. Mary's has a player down on the field. She gets up and she's walking it off. Good to see that. So Mount St. Mary's player on the wrong side of the ball, clearly offside, decides to fall on the ball and pick it up. That's what the penalty was for. Navy kicking for the lead, potentially the game here. Relatively straight on, right in front of the post, but this is not an easy kick here. We're about 30 meters out from the posts. The wind has definitely played a factor in the game all day today and with the kicking. Abby Hirschner is lining it up. She steps up to kick. That kick is no good. That's wide. Definitely don't like to see some of the yelling from the crowd on the kick, but that happens. Like to think of our crowds as very gentlemanly and gentlewomanly on the penalty kicks. Generally, we keep it quiet for the kicker. Every once in a while, you hear a whistle or someone yelling. Definitely don't like to see that. 22-meter drop. The Navy players can be right on the line. That kick goes up. It bounces. Tackled. Turnover to Mount St. Mary's. Mount St. Mary's has the ball. Navy gets out of the way. Unfortunate with a ref in the way of the tackle. Mount St. Mary's keeps possession. 15 seconds left. We'll have to see exactly what Mount St. Mary's does here, whether they try to keep the ball in play. That ball hits the ground. That's recovered by Navy. Hannah Brink spins that ball. Pops it to Maggie Geiger. She's been strong all day. Great carry. Navy maintains possession. They get it to Megan Lights. Sienna Hall able to gather that ball in. Great job maintaining possession. Comes back to the left. Navy's got to protect that ball, keep their support going. Good job there. Hannah Brink digs that ball out. Jess McKenzie with a carry. She's a strong carrier of the ball. They get it out wide. Megan Lights. Navy with some space out wide. They spin it. She dances inside. Outside. And she's tackled it, but it's also called a forward pass. That should be the match here, and it is. We've got a tie here in Annapolis. Navy 17, Mount St. Mary's 17. That should be the match. Definitely an exciting match here today. Back and forth game between in-state rivals Mount St. Mary's and the Naval Academy Midshipmen. It ends in a tie. Neither side really excited about that. Navy really has to be disappointed. They had quite a number of opportunities in this match, but they're just not able to take advantage of it. You'd like to see them. They had that ball out wide, but you have to know it's the end of the match, and you have to cut it back inside. You have to keep that ball inside. You have to keep that ball live, especially in the last few seconds of the game. But great, hard-fought match by both sides today. Great rugby programs. Mount St. Mary's up-and-coming rugby program. Up-and-coming with a decent history of rugby there. Certainly the same thing for Navy. Definitely a great rivalry match here in state. Again, great match by both teams. Thanks to Mount St. Mary's for coming down to Annapolis. We've got some more matches coming up next week. For the men, Notre Dame College coming in town here in Annapolis. And on the women's side, huge rivalry match against Army up in West Point next weekend on the 27th of October. Again, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next weekend.